A wonderful day to everyone. We are back with another session of the Be Rooted channel. I hope everyone enjoyed the last session with Chris Lowe and his introduction to Vedic Astrology. We are back today again with him to understand more about Vedic Astrology. Welcome, Chris, to the Be Rooted channel.
Hi, Carl. How are you?
Good, good. Before we start off today, let's have a quick self-introduction from you, Chris. Where you come from and how did you become a full-time Vedic astrologer?
Sure. Okay, a very brief introduction of myself. My name is Chris Lowe. Everyone addresses me as Teacher Chris Lowe. So I'm a Singaporean. I'm from Singapore, and it was we can use this history of 20 years ago. All right, about 20 years ago, I was doing my business. I was in import and export. So after about 10 years of business, I sometime in 2013, I have to close down my business. Okay, it was one of the low points in my life. And that's about 11, 12 years ago. Okay, so uh, I was seeking answers like I think most people will do. And before that, I even had a chance to study a bit of Bazi, but it didn't resonate with me. So I just went on with life lah. And it was in that year 2013 that the Indian master, who's my master, came to Singapore, and I had the privilege to study with him. And that was the very first time I got in touch with Vedic astrology. In fact, that was probably the first time I got in touch with any kind of astrology. I wasn't even well versed in Western astrology. So actually, I went in as a white paper, white page, okay, with no prior knowledge about astrology, except for the fact that I probably know a bit of a signs like Aries, Taurus, and all. I couldn't even recite, from Aries all the way to Pisces. I was that white, that blank. Okay, so long story short, it was a 5 day course, and I got immediately hooked into Vedic astrology. Why? Because the answers that I was seeking were presented to me in a very clear manner. It was written like how a comprehension or composition is written, right? Is the answers are all there. Okay, so I was going through Rahu luck cycle when I was doing my import export business.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Rahu in my previous recordings, videos, I was saying that Rahu is all about foreign stuff, right? So Rahu in my chart actually say something about what I was doing for the past 10 over years at that time. So import export was pretty much the big thing of my life. But Rahu, being Rahu, it is never permanent. It's transitory. Okay. And I sort of lost my business or closed my business when I was near to the end of Rahu luck cycle. And guess what is after Rahu? Jupiter. All right. So I got to know my master, my teacher, sometime end of my Rahu Mahadasha, my Rahu luck cycle. Okay. And then he explained why am I learning all this right now? It's actually to prepare myself for the next luck cycle, which I'm currently going through. Right. So it got me thinking, wow, okay, sounds like the heavens has plans for me. Okay. So yeah, I studied. I really liked that subject. And after the course, I didn't stop there. I really researched quite a lot in Vedic astrology. And I was saying I have a I had a field business, right? So after that, pretty immediately after that, I found a job, and things started to get better, right? And I was also starting to teach and do consultation at the site, and that's how I built my student base, right? And of course, it was my students who sort of encouraged me to do this as a career. Okay, now jump all the way to 2022, right? I finally got a chance and then I started to teach seriously the full time. Okay, and during this 11, 12 years, right? I've met a lot of people, consulted. I mean, a lot of people came to me for consultation, and I sort of found that, I was also doing my research, and inevitably, I got so hooked into it. I researched a lot, and I found that nakshatras, as I mentioned earlier on, they are really the essence of Vedic astrology. And I can say these nakshatras are never wrong. So far, it has been proven right and again and again. Okay, so this really got me very, very deep into Vedic astrology. Okay, so yeah, now I'm teaching full time, I'm consulting full time, and in 2022, I happened to come across Vastu Shastra. Vastu Shastra is something like a Indian feng shui. Okay, now the I would say this also. In order to become a practitioner in Vastu Shastra, you must be a master in astrology, well, Vedic astrology, because of the deities, which, of course, if there's a chance in the future, I can, share more about that.
Okay,
Right?
looking forward to it.
Yeah. So the deities of the nakshatras, the deities behind the Vedic astrology, they are all very pertinent and relevant to Vastu Shastra. So without that prior knowledge, you cannot be a master in Vastu Shastra. Okay, so that's a brief introduction of how I got into Vedic astrology, how I then now become a full-time trainer and a Vastu specialist.
Okay, thank you very much for your nice introduction. So, without further ado, let's see what you have to share today.
Okay, sure.